Hi, my name is Ann Sermons Gillis, and I had the pleasure this morning to interview one of our members of Unity of Charleston. I am interviewing our members so that we can get to know them better, so that when you sit beside that person at church, you'll know a little bit more about them. I want to welcome today Vickie Roberson. Welcome, Vickie.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Just wondering, where are you from originally?
I was born in Houston, Texas, and I grew up in San Antonio, Texas.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I guess I've forgotten that.
Yes,
I moved
I
from the
know.
Houston area.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Well, where do you live now in this area?
I live in Summerville, South Carolina for the last 20 years.
Oh, Somerville, and I live in Somerville
I
too.
know.
So what brought you to the Charleston area?
Well, my husband was in the Army and we were living in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and he got when he retired, he got a job in Charleston with a contractor. So that's what brought us here.
Okay, and so you are married then, so you have children, and
Yes.
if so, what ages?
Oh my goodness. I have two adult stepchildren and they're in their 30s. And then I have two grown children of my own who are in their 20s.
Okay, and I think you have other little home bodies too, fur
Ye-
buddies.
Oh, I have two dogs. I have two rescue dogs, Remo and Lucy.
Oh, we have a Lucy dog.
Oh, that's fun. That's a
Yeah,
common dog
we've
name, I
got a
think.
lot of synchronicity
Yeah,
here
we do.
with
Yeah.
yeah, Texas and Somerville.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good to know. So I don't know whether you're working now, whether you have a career now, or what you're doing now, what your career was. Just give us a little bit about
Yeah,
what you do.
I'm a retired elementary school teacher. I did stay home with my children for many years, but I did before them and after them when they were older. I worked as an elementary school teacher in public and private school.
Okay, and so now are
Um,
you working?
no, I'm
Uh,
retired. I
I
retired.
said,
I've been retired for a year.
okay, how's that work?
I love it. I love it. I can't say enough good things about it. I don't get bored. I'm happy. I get enough rest. I am so happy.
Oh, that's great. I didn't know you were old enough to retire. Maybe you
Well,
retired young. So if we just tell us a little bit about how your spiritual search started and
yeah.
maybe a little bit about that journey.
Yeah, I wasn't raised in a very religious or spiritual household. So when I became an adult, I just felt like something was missing. So I found the Methodist church and I went to that for a while and I raised my kids in that for a while. And then it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel authentic anymore. And I just stopped going to church altogether because I didn't want to do something that wasn't right. So but I still felt the need for something. So I looked online and I found Unity and I went there. And the very first time I went, it was just like coming home. I just felt like, oh, this is something I believe and I can do. And I was so happy. So yeah, and that was about 10 years ago when I started coming to Unity.
So I like it. So the church, it just didn't feel right for you.
No, it just felt contrived or inauthentic. It wasn't a good fit. And I didn't believe everything they said. So I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people stay, I think in churches they don't believe everything and they have to translate everything that's said, but you were willing to make a
Yeah,
change.
I couldn't, yeah.
Yeah, so did that go well with your family?
I I'm the only one that goes. My husband is a lapsed, I guess, Methodist, and he's been with me a couple of times. Not sure it's the right church for him. And I brought my children a few times, but they're like, they've got to figure it out for themselves. I stopped trying to get people to go. I'm like, this is my thing, I'm doing it. You'll have to figure out your own. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like that. That's great. Well, could you tell me a little bit about your philosophy in life? That would probably include the spiritual dimension as well.
Yeah, gosh. And it changes as you get older, I think. When you have time, I know when you're raising kids and you're working, you don't have time to think about it as much. I find now that I'm retired, I have time to think about it more. I'm trying to live an authentic life and follow my passions wherever possible. Um, and that includes being kind to other people and just being gentle with the earth as much as possible and just taking it one day at a time. So just kind of a laid back, but still on the path philosophy, I guess.
Well, on this path, are there any particular books or authors that have inspired you?
Yeah, my passion, and that's in one of the later questions, but is with nature and doing everything I can in my yard and in my community and teaching others about how we can help nature. And so one of my favorite authors is Douglas Tallamy, and he's an entomologist slash botanist who started studying birds and the decline of birds and learned how it's all tied together with the plants that you plant and the insects that come to them and the birds. And so I've totally embraced him. He's written like 3 books. And
Well, could you spell that last name?
yeah, I've got it right here. Tallamy.
David Ptolemy?
Douglas
Douglas.
Tallamy. Yeah, and
Douglas.
he's on YouTube. He's very renowned in this field, and everybody in the native plant community will know him.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
That is very neat. Well, so then you say you have a passion or a hobby is nature. You want to expand on that, or do you have any other passions or hobbies?
Well, I'll expand on that because that kind of is all consuming for me. But I'm training right now. I'm about finished with to become a coastal master naturalist. I have one more class, and we've gone all over Charleston County, all to different parks and the beach, and learned about the ecosystems and the animals, and it has been fascinating. And I've learned so much, but I have so much more to learn. So I'm embracing that, and I just want to take as many classes and learn as much as I can about that. So
Well,
and it all ties together.
Where are those classes? Where do you take those classes?
They're the Charleston County district, I mean the parks department, and I take it at Caw Caw, off Savannah Highway. It's part of if you go to the Charleston County Parks, that's the website. It's on there, and that's how I found out about it.
But, and you live in Dorchester
County. Yeah,
you
can do it. You don't have to live in Charleston County. You can be in the Tri-County area. Yeah.
That is fascinating. Well, do you have any spiritual practices that you do on a regular basis?
Yeah, I struggle with that. I do try to meditate, but I have a very hard time with meditation. I find that the guided meditations that we do sometimes in like the art class are very good for me because they give me, they stop my mind from wandering so much. And so those I like. I'm going to have to look into doing those more, but I find I get so busy. I didn't meditate today. And so yeah, that's what I really want to work on because I know I always feel better when I do.
Yeah, any exercise or that which I consider spiritual?
No, I don't. That's why I like going to Unity because I learn about other people's journeys, and I'm definitely still learning. And so I'm just trying to go ahead.
You have an obvious spiritual practice, and that is your relationship with nature.
I think that's it for me because when I'm outside, everything just stops for me, and I'm like, look at that butterfly, and I can spend 5 minutes just So I think that is what I do. But
I don't remember which system this is in, but whatever it is, they list nature as one of the spiritual paths.
Yes,
so that sounds like your path. That's wonderful. Well, thank you for giving us information about yourself. I just wonder if you have any final words of advice or anything to say in closing, or anything I didn't ask you about.
No, you did a very thorough job. Thank you for listening to me. But no, just live your passion, and I hope to get to know more people at Unity. So I feel like there's so many people I still don't know. And
I know, it's amazing.
Thank you for doing this. Yeah.
Oh, well, you're welcome. And I really like what you say about the authenticity that, that is a part of the path, I think, that keeps our feet to the fire.
Yes.
To be authentic, because that includes being congruent as well.
Yes.
With our values. And so thank you so much, Vickie.
Welcome.
Have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.